How are we all doing? 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 I've been getting more and more motivated to upload on this channel because I can see the potential. I can see the potential of what this channel can become, and I love the idea of it. And so I would like to use this channel as a way of me spreading knowledge and a way of facing fears and keeping myself accountable. And so today I would like to speak about two things. I believe throughout my experiences that I figured out how to fully become the person that you want to become. If you are searching, if you are trying to become someone that you are not yet, I feel like I figured out how to become that person. How do you become the person that you want to become? How do you become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be? How do you do these things that seem quote unquote impossible? How do you do this? How? I feel like I figured it out. Obviously, through many hours of trial and error, and through many hours of research, and through many hours of failure. And so I believe I figured it out, and I would like to share it with you. So if you ask me, how do I become any person? How do I become more confident? How do I become more literate? How do I become more knowledgeable? How do I become more, how do I become faster? It all starts within. Everything that you want to achieve starts from within here and within here, okay? Right now, your mind and your body have a way of seeing who you are. And what that means is your body and your mind are used to who you are right now. Your cycle, your habits create who you are, right? So if your nervous system, if your mind, if your body believes that you are quote unquote unfit, then you are going to take on the characteristics of an unfit person, right? But each time that you take an action, each time that you do something, you are pushing back on that habit. You are pushing back on that cycle. You are pushing back on that system. So say I want to become a fit person. I want to become fit, right? So let's just say I am currently in this fictional scenario. I am overweight, and I have all the characteristics of an overweight person. And my mind and my body acknowledge me as an overweight person. I'm going to keep continuing to live through what I perceive myself to be. But if my goal is to be a fit person, I must become, in essence, a fit person before I can even become fit. Meaning that every time, say my usual schedule is like, I wake up, I eat Doritos. Let's just say that. My If I want to become a fit person, my schedule must become I wake up, I don't eat breakfast. And your body is gonna hate that. Your mind is gonna hate that. You're gonna hate becoming the person that you want to become because you are comfortable being yourself. Meaning, you are comfortable being average. You are comfortable being that version of yourself that isn't who you want to be. And when you take away that comfort, your body's going to try to fight back. Your body's going to tell you that it's not worth it. Your body's going to tell you that you should just go back to your old ways. And so when you start taking action, your body's going to fight back. And so it's going to feel like it's not worth it. And so that's why people revert back. This is why people revert back, because they convince themselves that it's not worth it to keep going. But I can tell you firsthand that it is worth it. I can tell you firsthand that you have to keep going. I can tell you firsthand that you have to keep pushing. And that the reason that every single self-help book that you read, my library is full of these books, okay? Every single one of these books, might they be saying something a little bit different, they all have the same exact core principle. Because it is true. Because your habits create who you are. The way you think creates who you are. When you allow bad thoughts to enter your mind, you allow negativity to grow. And when you allow negativity to grow, you start believing that negativity. And I've realized that fear is just a lie that you choose to believe, okay? Fear is a lie that you choose to believe. And confidence is moving and taking that action no matter how you feel, no matter what is holding you back, right? So when someone says that they are fearful, they really mean that they are good at lying to themselves. Because realistically, when you have a fear, in order to actually be affected by that fear, you have to convince yourself that that fear holds any weight, right? If I'm scared to talk to someone, if I'm scared to take a step, if I'm scared to approach, if I'm scared to do any of these things, I must first convince my mind, I must first convince my subconscious that it is not worth it. So when someone is very fearful, they're just very good at convincing themselves to not take that step, to not do the action, to not. But here's the thing, your subconscious remembers every single thing that you've ever done. And so when you start taking that step, even when it feels like it's not worth it, you must remember that your subconscious remembers, okay? And so every step that you take towards the goal that you want to achieve, your subconscious is building a new habit. Your subconscious is building a new system. And that is how you break free from your past habits, addictions, misfortunes, and that is how you become the person that you want to become, okay? And I can speak firsthand. I can speak firsthand, brother. I used to be addicted to nicotine. I used to be addicted to vaping. I used to be addicted to pornography. I used to be addicted to fast food. I used to be addicted to video games. I used to be addicted to all of these things. I used to be addicted to escaping reality. I used to be addicted to weed. I used to be addicted to so many things. I used to be addicted to like cartoons, like anime. I used to be addicted to all of these things. I used to be addicted to negativity. I used to be addicted to fear. I used to be addicted to telling myself that I am not good enough. I used to be addicted to all of these things, right? I used to be overweight. I used to be I used to be shy. I used to be timid. I used to be hateful. I used to be resentful. I used to be jealous. I used to be cynical. I used to be just all of these negative traits. I used to be all of these traits, right? And through living for about 17 to 18 years of that, just that continuous cycle of just hatred, negativity, cynicism, I started getting fed up. I started getting like really sick of that. I really started to hate the idea of not being the person that I want to become. I have this mental picture of the person and what he does and how he does it. And I became tired of not being this picture that I always see. I became tired of being average. I became tired of being just another person. And so I started small. I started by my biggest battle in life. Well, my previous biggest battle in life was nicotine. Let me tell you, man, that shit was tough, bro. That shit was so fucking tough, man. That was crazy, bro. It is so addictive, man. And especially when you have an addictive personality, bro. Oh my god, bro. This shit grips onto you like a motherfucking, like, I don't even know, bro. Like a fucking crocodile, bro. This shit. It tells you lies. It makes you say lies to yourself. It makes you just become someone that you are not. And that is the same with every addiction, to be honest with you. They all feed off of fear and they all feed off of scarcity. They tell you that life is never going to be the same without them. And then it's just a matter of how much do you believe them. And it's the same system for fear. How much do you believe the fear, right? The only reason that fear doesn't affect someone. So when someone says, oh, bravery isn't the lack of fear, bravery is feeling fear and still doing the thing, right? You could still feel, and yeah, you can still feel fear and do the thing, and that's bravery. But when you're in a boat where you don't even know what bravery looks like, you don't even know what not having fear looks like, that sounds like fairy tales, right? That sounds impossible. And so even when you hear that, it sounds like the answer, but it doesn't feel like the answer. You still feel lost. It doesn't feel like it makes any sense. And so let me tell you, how does someone do something even though they feel fear? Through repetition, right? The answer is repetition. And you might say, oh, here's another fucking answer I've heard 1,000 times. Repetition, repetition, repetition. But you don't, this is the way I like to explain things. I like to explain things and the reason we do them. Not because, like, when someone tells you to do something and then they don't explain the reason, the purpose behind doing that thing, I find it makes no sense. There's no point in me learning this. If I told you the reason, if I was teaching you how to drive and I told you that you need to press the clutch every time you change gears, and I didn't explain why the clutch was there, what it does, or how it operates, whatever, you would just be like, why the fuck do I need to press this stupid fucking pedal every time I need to change gears? So it's the same thing. Like when someone says something, and it's like, oh, do this. Why, brother? Tell me exactly why I need to do it so I can conceptualize what the fuck I'm doing. Okay? And so, yeah, so if I explain, okay, the clutch removes the fucking, the, the clutch, what is it, the disc from the engine? It removes like your engine connection to the wheels and shit so that you can change the gears and blah blah blah. If I explain the idea of a clutch to you, you can understand why you need to press the clutch. And so if I tell you that if in order to not feel fear, you need to be brave, and in order to be brave, you need to do repetition or repeat the same thing over and over. And it's like, why do I need to do this? Why can't I just have the thing, right? And so this is what I mean when I say I feel like I figured it out. Every time you do something, right? Every time you do something towards the person that you want to become, let's say example, being a fit person, every time that the image of an unfit person gets slowly destroyed, that is when the image of the fit person can exist, okay? So say if someone is unfit, every single time they choose to skip breakfast, every single time they choose to work out, choose to run, choose to skip the junk food, every single time, even though their body, even though their psyche, even though their mind is fighting back with everything that it has, every single time they do that, it's like another groove in your brain is being made. A new habit is being formed inside of your mind, right? It's a new area in your brain that tells you, I've done it and I can do it again. And so when you take that one step, even though it feels like you've done nothing, your subconscious remembers, your brain remembers, your body remembers, right? And every single time you take that step again and again and again and again and again and again and again, you slowly start to tell yourself, you slowly start to realize that the bad feeling that you've been trying to avoid this entire time cannot kill you. And you know that you can do it, meaning that you can do it again. Even when you feel bad, even when you feel sick, even when you feel ill, even when you feel bored, even when you feel sad, even when you feel tired, even when you feel angry, even when you feel frustrated, you can do it. And that is the purpose of repetition. And that is how bravery works. Sure, someone may feel fear and they can do the thing, and that's called bravery. But the reason they can do that thing is because they've proven to themselves before that they can do it and they can survive. And that bad feeling cannot kill them, right? All fear is you convincing yourself that the feeling of bad outweighs the feeling of good. All fear is the conviction of the bad feeling worse than the good. The bad feeling like death itself. That's all fear is. Fear is just the fear of death in a nutshell. Why do you fear anything? You fear anything just because you fear death, okay? Why are you scared to talk to people? Because in your brain, you've convinced yourself, if I talk to this person and they react badly, then that's going to be a bad image on myself, and therefore I'm going to be neglected by my circle, by my tribe. And that means no one's going to like me and I'm going to starve to death. Simple. Why are you scared of looking stupid? Same fucking reason. Why are you scared of getting in shape? Because it's fucking, you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to look dumb. And no one wants to look stupid. No one wants to look dumb. But the people that succeed are the people that have looked dumb and realize that looking dumb does not kill you. They realize that looking dumb and overcoming that feeling is more worth it than being a fucking pussy and not doing it all, you know? And that's all it is. That's all it is. As fucking simple as it can be, okay? And so, yeah, all it is you proving to yourself that you are able to do it. Okay? You don't want to look stupid. You don't want to look dumb. And you feel good not feeling good. You can get addicted to the feeling of being worthless. You can get addicted to the feeling of feeling bad. Why? Because then you can self-loathe. And what does that mean? When you self-loathe, you make yourself feel better for being essentially a piece of shit. You can make yourself feel better about it. And you can tell yourself, oh, other people are in my boat. Or, oh, life has put me here. Life has done this. Life has done that. Life has done this. I'm not this because of these people. I'm not this because of this. Oh, if only I had this, then I could be this. It's always just a game of convincing yourself about some bullshit that isn't in your reach. But I'll tell you straight up, if you say, life did this to me, life did not do anything to you. You did this to yourself. You are accountable for your actions. And this is why you don't want to do the things that you want to do, because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that you are accountable for your own actions. Because it's easier to sit there and tell yourself that life has done this to you and not you. Because how bad would you feel knowing that you are a piece of shit because of your own doing? So yeah, everything is a choice. This life is your choice. And so, in order to overcome fear, you must convince yourself that the fear cannot kill you. And again, it does not mean that you have to be this legendary figure in one day. This shit takes time, brother. You gotta start very fucking small. But as long as you start, that's all that matters, okay? You gotta take that first step. You gotta do that one push-up. You gotta say hi to that one person. You gotta smile at that one pretty girl, okay? You gotta do the the easiest steps, because sometimes the easiest fucking step feels like the hardest, okay? And one thing I've realized through all this shit that I've been putting myself through to become the ultimate version of myself is I've noticed that even my worst days nowadays, even my absolute worst days, are still days I would be dreaming about back when I was that person that was still addicted to all of these things. My worst days now are dreams to the person that I used to be, okay? And just always remember that where you've come from. And that's all I wanted to say, okay? And yeah, please keep going. Please keep being yourself. Please continue bettering yourself, okay? It's okay to rest. It's okay to get knocked down. Just don't allow yourself to quit. Do not. You must keep going. And you must prove yourself to yourself. You're the only person that you have to prove yourself to, okay? So please, for the sake of yourself, not for me, put the phone down. Pick up that book. Do that push-up. Go to sleep. Say hi to that person. Smile at that girl. Smile at that boy. Walk up to that girl. Walk up to that boy. Apply to that job. Pick up that camera. Draw that idea you have in your mind. Not for me, but for yourself. Because you are in control. And your thoughts create reality, okay? I love you.